Here on my right and left, I have all of the components that are included in this kit. We have all of the tube that's going to be built with the structure. We have all of the drain tube. We have all of the plumbing, and we have all of the feed tubes as well. Optionally, if you buy this reservoir from us, your perlite will be included inside of the reservoir. So the first thing you want to do when you start to assemble this system is glue and finish your drain line. This will just make sure that when you start to assemble your system and turn it on, all of these pieces have had time to dry. In your kit, you'll get a whole tube of this 732 sealant. This is what you should use to glue your drain line together and put the end caps on. So you want to glue both of your drain lines into this coupler. You'll have an end cap that can go on one end, and you'll have for your other end a little assembly of PVC pipes that you can quickly put together. To make sure your channels don't leak, you want to apply as much of that RTV sealant as you can fit into the joints, and then you also want to use Teflon tape on all of the threaded connections to make sure there's no leaks in your system. Next, we're going to start assembling our structure. These leveler feet just need installed on each of the ends of the legs. You should have 6 legs and 6 of these feet. So the next thing we're going to do is start to assemble our stand. You'll have a bunch of these 16-inch pieces and a bunch of the 17-inch pieces. The 60-inch horizontals will be the long pieces, and the 17s will be the intermediate crossbars. I'm going to go ahead and walk through assembling the first instance. The second side is going to be the exact same, and then you're going to bolt them all together. So this is all the hardware that's included in this kit. You'll notice there's 2 different length bolts. The longer ones are going to be used later. Most of the time we're going to be using these short ones. I'll be sure to let you know when you need to use the long ones. For all of the connections on this system, you're going to use 2 washers, a bolt, and a nut. To start this top part of this kit, we're going to put the smaller piece on the bottom of the long piece, and then we're going to install the hardware like so. We'll do everything loose, and then we'll tighten everything down after we make sure everything's all square and even. You're going to put 2 bolts on each leg. There's going to be one at the very top and one at the second hole on these intermediate supports. So once you got the first side done, you can go ahead and set that down. We'll get the other legs put on the other side, and we'll get it all assembled. So now that we have our other side done, here's where we're going to use first our long bolts. We'll go ahead and set this up right here for now. So as you're installing your legs, you want to be sure that you don't put the second bolt on the supporting legs in the middle. What you want to do instead is use 2 of your longer bolts with the washer and nuts, and you want to just set up the one section next to the other section and run your bolt through like so. And then you can just torque those down. So next you're going to want to go around and install these end caps at all the spots where your tube's punched. They end up fitting around our bolt, but sometimes it's a little hard to put the bolts in once you've already installed these end caps. You can do this before or after your system's complete. All you need to do is push these caps in and either pound them in with a soft mallet or just your hands. So the next thing we're going to do is install the support for the buckets. These are the long pieces that were included in your kit. They're the ones that are left over from the steps that we've already completed. I'm going to go ahead and install these on each side. So the next thing you're going to do is find the center of this, and you're going to put the center piece there. You'll put each of the other supports 1 hole off of that hole. So now that our stand's assembled and our drain is dry, we're going to install that drain on the stand using these brackets that were included. They also have a really small bolt that doesn't fit any of your other hardware. This will be the bolt that gets used to attach this to the frame. This can get installed anywhere near the top of this. It's best to do it as close to the top as you can. Down on the opposite side, you'll want to install this on the opposite side that you did on the front. So the next part of the assembly process for the 10 bucket system is going to involve cutting your feed tube. You're welcome to put all your buckets on this stand and cut them to size yourself. We've included some general dimensions that you can cut your tube off of, and that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to cut all of my tube beforehand, assemble the whole feed system, and then put it on the buckets. So first I'm gonna start by cutting the 1/2-inch tube. You're gonna need 9 pieces that are 7 inches long and 11 pieces that are 4 inches long, and then you're gonna wanna save the rest to hook up to your pump. Now that we've got all of our pieces cut, we're gonna start putting all of these pieces together, and then we'll cut the rest of the tube. So I'll start with the greenback valve, and I'll go straight into the T with the 4-inch piece, and then from there I'll use another 4-inch piece to connect to another T, and then we'll use a 7-inch piece, connect to another T, and then alternate between 4-inch and 7-inch pieces from here. The 4 inches go between the stakes, 7 inches go between the buckets. So you'll know your irrigation line's completed once you have 2 4-inch pieces on the first part, and then after that you're gonna alternate your 7-inch and 4-inch pieces down the full length of the tube. You'll have all of your extra tube just pinned up to the end, and this will be where your feed pump ends up sitting on this side of the tube. So next I'm gonna take this 1/622 tube, and I'm gonna cut this down to 2 inches, and then I'm gonna cut my white irrigation tube down to 16-inch lengths. This will be what goes into these stakes, and there'll be 2 stakes per bucket, and each of those tubes will then go into one of these emitters. So since this is our 10 bucket system, we have 20 individual feeding emitters that are going to be on this. So you'll need to cut 22-inch pieces. So next I'm gonna cut this white feed tube to 16-inch lengths, and that'll be what goes into these stakes. So now that all of our tubes are cut, we're gonna take one of these emitters, and we're gonna put the orange end with the black tube, and we're gonna put the white tube on the black end. And then you're gonna take the other end of the white tube and go into a stake. And then you're gonna take the black end of your tube and connect it to your feed tube. And you'll just repeat this process down the full length of your feed tube. Now that we've got all of our feed tube assembled, we can go ahead and start assembling our buckets. Each Bato bucket gets 2 of these black elbows. They just slip together like this, and then they go in the bottom of the bucket on this hole to prevent the roots from growing up into the drain line, and it also prevents the perlite from coming right out of the bucket. So you're gonna install those on all 20 buckets, and then you'll go ahead and set these into your drain line. So as you're putting these buckets in, you wanna make sure that this drain hole goes into the drain line so that the water does not leak out of this system. Now that we're here and we got all of our Bato buckets, we also included these styrofoam covers. These are mostly to prevent evaporation of excess water and also retain moisture in your environment. They just sit right in there like that. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to remove all of these covers because they might blow away. Now that we've got all of our drain components put together and the Bato buckets on the stands, again, we could fill it with perlite right now if we wanted to. This system won't be used where you're seeing it sit today. I'm gonna skip that step. What I will do is install the irrigation line. You're gonna want this greenback valve to sit on the opposite side of your drain tube, which is coming out towards your reservoir. So here I'm standing on the end that will be our feed side. Again, there's no drain line on this side, so I'm gonna have my greenback valve sit on this end of the system, and you're gonna have 2 stakes in each side of your bucket. This 4-inch piece sits out here, this 4-inch piece would sit inside the buckets, and that 7-inch piece will sit in between each of the buckets. So I'll go ahead and alternate each of these down, making sure that I put 2 stakes in each bucket. So what I'm gonna do now is take these zip ties and attach the feed line to the stand down here. Your feed line will sit loose once the perlite's full in the buckets and there are plants growing in them. Your feed line won't really move as much as it is going to move on me right now. Now that we've got all of our feed line on, our drain line's completely dry, our stand is assembled, we're gonna move our reservoir under the system. Again, this reservoir is an optional purchase from CropKing. If you did buy the unit from CropKing, it'll have 2 lids on it. They won't have a hole on them already. You'll have to drill that out yourself, but we have included instructions if you did buy this reservoir from us. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this into position under the system. So we'll screw the right fitting into this pump for our system. Again, this is a 1/2-inch feed tube, so you want to make sure that you use the 1/2-inch fitting. You can go ahead and remove the lid that's already got the hole drilled on it, and you'll end up sliding your feed tube through that hole, and you'll take this snap grip clamp that was included in your kit, and you'll slide that over the tube. You'll feed this over the pump, slide the clip on and cinch it down, and then you'll slide this pump right into your system. You can leave the cord hang out to turn it on using your standard wall outlet. Now that we got our pump hooked up, I'm gonna go ahead and attach the drain line to this insert here. We can put the other end into our reservoir. And then you're gonna go ahead and plug that pump into the wall using the digital wall timer that was included with the instructions that are in the manual. Now that I've got everything done, I'm gonna go ahead and install my caps now. You could be doing this during the installation of your project. Sometimes the bolts are a little bit harder to slide through the holes once these are installed. If you do notice any tearing or anything, feel free to use a soft blow mallet to pound these into place. Another option with your 10 bucket system is a light rack. This light rack is made to be adjustable so that it could fit almost any light. So we're gonna start assembling this light rack. We're gonna assemble each end and then the middle piece separately, and then we'll put them all together and tighten everything down, make sure everything's square from there. To start assembling each end, I'm gonna need 2 of the 13-inch pieces and 2 of the 70-inch long pieces. I'm gonna install one of the lengths at the top and the other one in the middle. Once we have our first end built, we'll do the exact same thing and build the other end up. So the middle section of the light rack is going to look a little bit different. You're going to use this 7-inch piece as your intermediate and both of these 17-inch pieces as the top part of the light rack. You're also going to use on those 17-inch pieces the 3.5-inch hex bolt. This is in contrast to the 2.5-inch hex bolt you've previously been using for this assembly. So next we're gonna go around and install each of these light rack sections onto the stand that we've already built. What you're gonna notice is that I'm alternating again between the 2.5-inch bolts and the 3.5-inch bolts. I'll do my best to point out which ones go where. What I'm gonna do first is put each of the light racks onto each corner of the rack, and then from there I'll tighten everything down afterwards, make sure everything's nice and square before we end up pulling out the socket set. So as you're going and starting this light rack installation, you're gonna have to uninstall this bolt on this side to allow the 3-inch bolt to come in and pick up this, the leg, and your light rack. The other side is fine, you don't need to unscrew that, but you will need to unscrew the same bolt on the opposite side and on the opposite corner. Perfect. So right here, you're gonna have your 3-inch bolt that goes through both of these tubes and your light rack, and then you're gonna have a 2.5-inch bolt that goes from here onto your Bato drain support line. So the last 2 pieces of tube we need are the 58-inch and the 61-inch. Your 58-inch will go between the 2 shorter ends of your light rack, and the 61-inch will go in between the longer sides of your light rack. You're gonna bolt this through on the middle on both ends, up at the top. And after that, you're able to go ahead and socket everything down. Now that our light rack is complete, we can install these end caps for a nice clean finish look. You can optionally install these while you're building everything with a soft mallet hammer. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get bolts through once they've already been installed. Now that everything's assembled, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten everything down, make sure it's all square, and you're good to go. Thanks again for buying the CropKing 10 bucket system. I hope these instructions were easy to follow. This is showing our reservoir that is an optional add-on and our light rack that are optional add-ons. Thanks so much for watching this video. Reach out to CropKing if you have any questions or would like to buy one of these systems yourselves.